Warning. Curse of Strahd. Spoilers ahead. We rejoin Zayli the Ranger, Torin the Paladin, Badakas the Rogue, Nala the Druid, Irina Kolyana, Zandala, and Boblia as they stand on a mountain path somewhere in the Balanok Mountains of eastern Barovia. The trail hugs the mountainside and descends into the fog-filled valley. In the heart of the valley and barely visible, a walled town is near the shores of a great mountain lake. The waters of the lake are dark and still. A branch in the road leads west to a promontory, upon which is perched a dilapidated stone windmill, its warped wooden vanes stripped bare.
It's the charlatan card. But seriously, it's one of the locations Madame Ava told us about.
The windmill has seen better days, some centuries ago. The building is so old that it appears to lean towards the ground, as if trying to put itself to rest. Despite that, the windmill is several stories tall, its gray brick walls and dirt-covered windows marking the separations between multiple floors, while a flimsy doorway leads to the building's interior. Perched on the wooden beam above the door is a raven. It is clearly agitated as it hops about and squawks at the party. Before we continue, please make sure you've subscribed to my channel. It helps me out so much.
Nala, it's your deal. Talk to the raven. Nevermore.
Nala uses her ring of animal friendship to cast Speak with Animals. Hello, friend. Why are you so jumpy?
Evil layers here. The wicked sisters ate children. Turn to pies.
Oh dear. Yes, we met one of those in the city.
Wait, is this the stronghold of the toddler thing?
As if on cue, the scent of fresh, delicious-smelling meat pies wafts out of the windmill. Great. How many sisters are there?
There are 3. They are a coven. You must not come here. It is too dangerous.
What makes it dangerous?
They will kill and eat you for sure. They have taken many of my brethren.
Nala takes a moment to translate and summarize.
But if we kill the sisters and go in, would he be happy?
Would you like us to try to kill the sisters for what they've done to your brethren?
You think you can do it?
We've been successful so far. We're still standing. Have you seen them kill people? How do they normally do it?
They use foul magics.
Do they use verbal magic?
They do. We hear the treachery.
Okay, we can f*** him up. I can silence him.
What do you know about Strahd? The raven flutters over to Nala.
The ravens and the wereravens wage war against the conqueror, the abuser of us all.
The wereravens, huh?
Yes, you would do well to find them in Vallaki if you are friends. But, since you can speak to us, and no one has spoken to us in ages, we assume you are friends.
Oh yes, druids are absolutely friends of nature and its fauna, and certainly united in our general dislike of Strahd so far.
You are a druid. You would do well to visit they who reside in the winery to the west. They give the best feed, and are druids.
To the west?
Yes, to the west. It has been long since we have visited. We stay here to warn those who would perish in the windmill. So many have died, ignoring poor Tagoric.
You've been staying to try and warn them?
Oh yes, we must hold our vigil to prevent the unwary from death.
That's kind of you. Are you the last of your flock?
No, we are a strong flock, but they must tend to their duties as we tend to ours.
That's fair. Okay. Pleased to meet you, Tagoric.
What is your name, bird friend?
I am Delmer of Nala.
Delmer of Nala. Good to meet you, bird friend.
There's also Zayli, Torin, Badakas, and Zandala.
Are they nice? Are they good? Do they like birds? Rude! That is a foul word. How dare! How dare!
She's like a very small bird in that she mimics what she hears. I apologize.
What a rude bird! How dare you! How dare you insult birds!
I'm sorry.
She says she's sorry.
Apology half accepted.
I would give him some food, Zayli. Zayli casts Goodberry and offers one to Tagoric.
These are the best berries a druid can offer the wild. We accept your offering.
Can I pet his little head?
No.
Damn it!
Tagoric wolfs down the Goodberry and turns to Nala. Is there something especially important about this winery? Anything we should know about it or its history?
They make something called wine that Tagoric cannot drink.
Do you know if there's any children in the windmill right now?
Oh yes. Some are pies, but 2 yet live. We hear their cries for help. Before we forget, one came back from the village muttering about blue dragons, gold dragons,
Well, that was us.
and evil people who were cursing them, stole from them, hurt them, and wrapped them in snakes, and that they would exact their revenge.
If they're already angry at us, we might as well make them
Murder them!
extra angry at us. Do you know if all the sisters are here, Tagoric?
All the sisters, yes. No, you do not understand. It is too dangerous. You must leave. The sisters are always here. They are strong together and will do anything to preserve their power. We have to stop them, but we do not have enough strength to stand against them.
Would the wereravens aid us in fighting against the sisters if we asked them to join us?
We do not know, but probably. If you were to prove yourselves to the wereravens of Vallaki, we would fight with you to the end against the monster and against all else who deem to do harm in Barovia.
How would we prove ourselves to the wereravens?
You must destroy the vampire and his minions. You must prove you are not allies of evil, but being allies to us. You have already taken good steps.
Alright. How are you guys feeling?
Still ready to murder?
Badakas? Badakas does not condone mistreatment of children. Ready. What's the plan?
Someone needs to sneak in and figure out what's going on.
That sounds like a job for the rogue! What do you need Badakas to do?
We need someone to creep into the mill to do a bit of reconnaissance for us.
Badakas is on it. Badakas creeps up to the old wooden door leading into the windmill and pauses, listening for activity on the inside. Badakas tests if the door is unlocked, and it is indeed. Badakas slowly opens the door, pausing as the door squeals in protest. Hello? Anyone here? Sake, why did we send him in?
The stealthiest of stealths.
Why do we ever ask him to? Come to buy pies, have you? The old woman from the village of Barovia is inside the windmill, tending to an oven that clearly has nearly finished pies. I'll have some ready in a few minutes. How many pies would you like to buy? You sell pies? Badakas is hungry. Badakas is happy. Badakas will buy one. So good!
Don't buy the children pies, Badakas.
You know he can't hear you, right?
Shut it, Torin.
It will cost you 1 gold piece. Come back in a few minutes and I will give you one fresh out of the oven. That's when they are the best. Badakas will be back in a few minutes. Badakas leaves the windmill. Badakas will watch Badakas's weight and buy no child pies. Badakas forgot children were the ingredients.
Badakas, you were supposed to find out where all the women were so we could sneak in and kill them.
Oh, Badakas got distracted by fresh baked goods. Okay, Badakas will walk in again. How breakable do the walls look?
Thinking about collapsing the windmill?
If we run out of options, it's worth a shot, but we don't know where the kids are. But we do know there are kids in there somewhere. Badakas re-enters the windmill and leaves the door wide open, planning ahead in case he needs to make a fast exit. Badakas will ask for a tour of the facilities. How big is your silence spell, Zaylee?
40 feet across.
Oh, that will encompass most of the windmill.
Hopefully.
Badakas would like a guided tour of the windmill, ma'am. Badakas is curious about your pies and how they are made. Just another minute on the pies! Get out! Badakas turns around and leaves the windmill. Badakas got kicked out again. Badakas doesn't think the nice old lady is nice anymore. Oh, so like the people who kicked you out of the chair in the village of Barovia Tavern? Badakas will call it a mean nice old lady. Badakas is still mad about being thrown around the tavern. Badakas longs to eat the tavern people. You know what? We can go back. You didn't get to eat Salida, and if these people are guilty of something heinous, I could make an exception. Badakas is tempted. The pies are ready! Come in! Come in! Yay! Badakas runs inside the windmill. The old woman reaches inside the oven and Badakas can hear her flesh sizzle as she touches one of the racks. She pays the sizzling no heed as she pulls up a fresh, steaming pie. Here, for you. Smells so good. If you have more gold, you're welcome to buy as many pies as you have gold pieces. Okay, can Badakas get a tour of this place? Badakas is curious. No one has asked for a tour, but for 10 gold pieces, I'll give a little tour. How about that? How about 9 2/2 gold pieces? Fine! 9 gold pieces is quite alright. I'll get more from you later, I'm sure.
Stupid can't even math.
What's 2 halves?
Damn it, Torin.
Say, why don't you eat that nice pie before it gets cold? It's really hot, but I guess we'll eat it when it's a little cooler. But I insist! They are the best when they're quite hot. But I guess can't wait. It looks so good. We should chat while we wait for it to cool a bit. It's really hot. It's not that hot. It's out of the oven now, dearie. You can take a little bite. Your hand looks a little burned, Badakas. Don't worry about me. Badakas is concerned that if Badakas eats a pie that is too hot, that Badakas will get an ouchie in Badakas's tummy and won't be able to eat more later. It's Badakas's tummy economy. I don't know about tummy economy, but fine. Fine! Follow me up the stairs, quickly. Okay, Badakas will follow. Badakas is led up a flight of rickety stairs and is shown a room with bones strewn on the floor. The bones appear to be from small animals, or more likely, small children. Cackling can be heard from the floor above. Oh, cool bone collection. So you know! Oh, yes. Small creatures are so delightful for their little bones. I dry them here so I can use them for decoration of an old altar I tend every now and again. What type of animals are they now? Only the smallest, most defenseless animals will suffice. Do you wish to travel upstairs and meet my daughters? Perhaps you could consort one. You look like such a fine suitor. Badakas likes eating defenseless animals. A man after their hearts. You would make a great wife for one of my daughters. Wait, you said consort? Oh, yes. Consort indeed. You could keep one of my daughters for your own, but not for long. I need her presence for the magical touch we three keep here. Badakas shifts uncomfortably. Badakas does not want to eat Badakas's bride. I'm sure Bella would eat you first. It sounds like Badakas has found the one place where nothing he says phases anyone because they're all weirder. Quiet, or we're going to get caught. Baticus likes doing whatever Baticus wants whenever Baticus wants. Baticus wants to remain unmarried. Baticus plans to move around a lot and can't carry the extra weight.
Oh, it's a question of can she carry your weight when she eats you?
What's the view like from above, Baticus?
I wouldn't know. The windows are always filthy. You can go up if you'd like. I can let Bella know you're coming.
Can Baticus sneak up on her for fun?
I don't know. She's pretty observant, but it could be quite fun. Just be gentle. She doesn't like surprises.
Baticus wants to show off how Baticus eats defenseless animals. Baticus gets. Baticus wonders if the cake is ready now.
What cake do you speak of, little Buttercuss?
The cake you baked, the little cake.
But I don't bake cakes. I bake pies.
Baticus forgot the word for it. Common is hard.
I must end the pies, and you must be on your way. Unless... Dearie, you have a suitor coming for you.
The old woman vanishes down the stairs. Pies is such a hard word. Okay now. Baticus will go outside to enjoy Baticus's pie and avoid the prospect of marriage. Baticus leaves the windmill, closes the door behind him, and bolts over to where the party is waiting just out of sight. You guys! Baticus was almost a victim of marriage. Also, what's the plan? Baticus kinda wants to eat Baticus's pie. Torin fixes Baticus with a hard stare. I will hurt you if you eat that.
It's made of children, Buttercuss.
Baticus is just so hungry.
What about the venison feast we just had?
That was earlier. Baticus is hungry now. It's hard to be Baticus.
Oh, Buttercuss, we know. However, we know these pies are a product of evil, and maybe it would be best if you not eat them. I imagine Torin would be happy to make you some food, right, Torin?
Yep, Baticus will try.
What do you know about the layout of the building? Metaphorically.
Metaphorically.
Did you see her daughters?
Baticus saw her daughter Lisa.
Lisa? Sounds terrible. So the mom is just downstairs by herself?
Yeah, but she can yell upstairs and her daughters will come downstairs. And Baticus did not see the daughters. Baticus only heard them.
Okay, maybe we should silence the mom first and we can get someone to hold her down while we kill her. Then we can move upstairs and do it again.
Yeah, we're gonna get 'em. The mean nice grandma kept saying her daughter would eat Baticus, and Baticus is unsure if it was meant to be in the mean or nice way. Baticus's purity must be defended.
Nala, can you ensnare her somehow?
Not prepared, no.
Nala!
Well, to be fair, she did zip out of the constrictor coils last time we had her pinned.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Should we just fly in and nuke her?
I'm down.
Buttercuss, you mentioned your marriage prospect was up at the top of the windmill. Do you think the kids are up there?
Baticus does not know, but Nala is probably right. Makes sense to Baticus, and Baticus is now scared to go back in. Baticus's purity is now in danger.
Well, at least Buttercuss knows how purity works.
Daughters! Yes, Mother. The chubby devil has become a repeat customer of ours. Curiously, he has chosen to visit the windmill instead of waiting for more pies. He is bored to have traveled so far, unless he is not alone. I did not see any of his do-good ruffian friends with him. The pies have done it again. Then why are you telling us about his presence? Because he is here! Stop him taking anything he shouldn't. I also promised you as a consort, Bella. Mother! In jest, but you can decide how you'd like him cooked should he take the bait. How wretched. Why does Bella get all the attention? Because you can't keep a ruse to save your life, Offalia. Remember what happened with the last group of nosy do-gooders? Why must you bring this up every time? You got delightfully boiled by that red glowing woman. Bella! It's true. I almost had that Goliath eating out of my hand until you ruined it. Quiet! Keep your eyes peeled for trouble, and make sure the children are fattened up for my return. Ismark will yield the children to me, and I would need space for 3. You plan to take Ismark alone, Mother. He has no magical powers and is unable to stand against me. I'd ask you and your sister to do it, but I'm afraid you'd bungle even that simple a task. Here's all you want. Before you start up again, I must be off.
The party hears some clanking and crashing inside the windmill before the creaking of wheels.
Jump on her?
No, let's all stay hidden.
Let's let her go and investigate the windmill while she's gone. Chances are she thinks Buttercuss came alone since she sold him the pie in the village of Barovia, and we know from experience that 3 together is extra trouble. Alright.
The obnoxious squealing of cartwheels and the slamming of the windmill door indicate that the old woman has left to sell her pies in one of the nearby towns. As the squealing wheels become faint, the party readies for action.
Let's get the kids and then bring this whole place down.
Can we devise some kind of bouncy device outside of a window that we can throw the kids onto?
I could be an air elemental and catch them, though I wouldn't be able to help in the fight.
Let's have Irina be the liaison for the kids outside, since we don't want her to get hurt. We can find the kids and shepherd them down the stairs or something.
Baticus is sneaking, sneakily.
I think we're just going in at this point, Buttercuss.
The party slowly enters the windmill, weapons drawn. The building is mostly silent, save for the occasional shriek and cackle somewhere above. The first floor is empty, save for the oppressive, nitrogenous smell of chicken waste and residual heat from the oven. Smells like home.
Shh!
Buttercuss walks over to the chicken cage. Hey, little chickens, don't worry, Buttercuss is here. The chicken squawks loudly at Buttercuss.
Don't get attached.
Zaylee moves to the stairs and motions for everyone else to follow. The party slowly ascends the crumbling stairs, careful not to make any noise. Zaylee can see a pair of women dancing around on the floor above, near a ladder that climbs up into a dark third floor.
Sister, it's the ruffians! Do something, you idiot! You do something! Or I left you in charge! She did not, you cowardly wretch! We're supposed to handle this together!
Zaylee runs up the stairs and casts a silent spell in the center of the room, engulfing much of the windmill in a soundless void. Across the room and past the two obvious night hags, Zaylee can see cages in an open closet where two children with the saddest eyes watch her from behind bars. Zaylee mentally commands Boblia to leap forward and savage the nearest hag while she readies her spear. The hag silently shrieks in pain as Boblia wrestles her to the ground. Nala leaps into the air and transforms into an owlbear before she charges the remaining hag, claws and beak extended. The hags, as they're silenced, are reduced to using their claws to engage their attackers. Night hags do have the ability to shift onto the ethereal plane when they're clearly outmatched, but they cannot perform that action while silenced. One of the hags charges Zaylee, slashing viciously with horrific nails. Zaylee ducks under the scything nails and stabs upwards with her spear, forcing the hag to retreat. Buttercuss is on the floor below, holding the chicken tightly as he silently deals with the horrifying thought of marriage. And no, Buttercuss did not help at all during this fight. Boblia attempts to savage the hag nearest Zaylee, but the hag deftly evades Boblia's scything teeth. Zaylee strikes rapidly with her spear, drawing ichor. The hag shrieks curses at Zaylee, but the silent spell conveniently censors the hag's language. Zaylee finally remembers she's blocking access to the floor by standing on the stairs. She circles the hag, making it possible for Zandala and Torin to join the fray. The hags make a run for the stairs, but the party counters, blocking the hags from leaving. One of the sisters tries to pull Zandala out of the way, but even her sharpened claws can't help her grip the wily sorceress. After much stabbing and silent shrieking, Zaylee manages to disintegrate one hag by stabbing it point blank with her spear before hurling her spear for her second attack and disintegrating the second one. Talk about kill stealing. 2 down. 1 to go.
Their power is broken, isn't it? I don't think she'll be much trouble by herself, especially since it's clear we'll beat her in a fight.
Let's get the children out of the cages and take a look around for the thing Madame Ava was talking about.
Do we know what we're looking for?
Nope.
Zaylee and Nala free the children. Nala escorts them down to Irina while Zaylee heads up the ladder into the attic of the windmill. She finds a cramped, filthy room filled with dust and bird nests. However, a tome lying on the floor gives her pause, the insignia on its cover eerily familiar. The book is aged, though exactly how old is difficult to determine. Its leather cover is clearly worn, but the lock attempting to protect the book's contents seems good as new. Zaylee grabs the tome and inspects it thoroughly, expecting trickery. While it is technically an ordinary book, the tome Zaylee found is known as the Tome of Strahd, a diary of sorts where the vampire Strahd von Zarovich has stored information largely about his life before he became a vampire. Zaylee carefully snaps the lock off the book and browses its contents. I am the ancient. I am the land. My beginnings are lost in the darkness of the past. I was the warrior. I was good and just. I thundered across the land like the wrath of a just god. But the war years and the killing years wore down my soul as the wind wears stone to sand. All goodness slipped from my life. I found my youth and strength gone, and all I had left was death. My army settled in the valley of Barovia and took power over the people in the name of a just god, but with none of a god's grace or justice. I called for my family, long unseated from their ancient thrones, and brought them here to settle in Castle Ravenloft. They came with a younger brother of mine, Sergei. He was handsome and youthful. I hated him for both. From the families of the valley, one spirit shone above all others, a rare beauty who was called perfection, joy, and treasure. Her name was Tatiana, and I longed for her to be mine. I loved her with all my heart. I loved her for her youth. I loved her for her joy. But she spurned me. Old One was my name to her, elder and brother also. Her heart went to Sergei. They were betrothed. The date was set. With words she called me brother, but when I looked into her eyes, they reflected another name: death. It was the death of the aged she saw in me. She loved her youth and enjoyed it, but I had squandered mine. The death she saw in me turned her from me, and so I came to hate death, my death. My hate is very strong. I would not be called death so soon. I made a pact with death, a pact of blood. On the day of the wedding, I killed Sergei, my brother. My pact was sealed with his blood. I found Tatiana weeping in the garden east of the chapel. She fled from me. She would not let me explain, and a great anger swelled within me. She had to understand the pact I made for her. I pursued her. Finally, in despair, she flung herself from the walls of Ravenloft, and I watched everything I ever wanted fall from my grasp forever. Tatiana's fall was 1,000 feet through the mists. No trace of her was ever found. Not even I know her final fate. Arrows from the castle guards pierced me to my soul, but I did not die. Nor did I live. I became undead forever. After I slaughtered those traitors, I looked up into the blackened sky and saw the faces of my mother and father form in the dark thunderclouds, the disappointment and hatred in their eyes as they judged me. I looked my last upon them before Barovia was enshrouded in mist and twilight. I have learned much since then. Vampire is my new name, as it is of they who sired me. I still lust for life and youth, and I curse the living that took them from me. Even the sun is against me. It is the sun and its light I fear the most, but little else can harm me now. Even a stake through my heart does not kill me, though it holds me from movement. But the sword, that cursed sword that Sergei brought, I must dispose of that awful tool! I fear and hate it as much as the sun. I have often hunted for Tatiana. I have even felt her within my grasp, but she escapes. She taunts me. She taunts me! What will it take to bend her love to me? I now reside far below Ravenloft. I live among the dead, and sleep beneath the very stones of this hollow castle of despair. I shall seal shut the walls of these stairs, so that none may disturb me.
So he's a boy, as we were saying.
He didn't like the way she looked at him.
Then murdered her husband, and she was upset. How dare she?
I'm assuming this is the big thing we were supposed to find in the windmill. Let's get the out of here. Sun, sword, got it.
Yep, sun's easy. Just gotta find a sword.
Then we need to question Irina about Tatiana.
Oh, right. I almost forgot.
Zayli and Nala step outside the windmill and inform the others of their findings in the Tome of Strahd.
Good job, guys. 2 dead hags and 1 fortune down.
Alexei! Where is my daughter? I don't know. You idiot! You had one job! Keep Arabelle from wandering off! I'll have your hide for this.
Brother.
Don't you start, Aragal! It was you who suggested we leave Alexei to supervise her!
Organize a search party first. Have people check everywhere. Argynvostholt, the winery, and the surrounding forest.
And what happens if she was taken by those curs in Vallaki?
Their time will come. Think. We must eliminate the other possibilities first.
Get the down! I'm nowhere finished with you! My daughter is missing! Get your up and searching! One person checks Argynvostholt, a few check the winery, the rest spread out through the forest!
Ismark, you are in possession of my property and over the children, and you might not get hurt.
A quick thank you to my patrons. And thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, share this video on your Twitter, Facebook, or other social media, and consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. I'll see you all next time.